Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans, and today I'm going to be doing a review, a brief review, and a discussion on Primal Season 2. Primal Season 2 is now concluded. The final episode came out 2 days ago. I binge-watched the whole season in one sitting, and I'm ready to talk about it. Spoilers ahead. Please leave the video now if you have not seen Primal Season 2. Or if you don't care, you could just keep watching. If you're not going to watch it anyway, and you just want somebody's thoughts on Primal Season 2 for some reason, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And we're here on the EW.com. And why this is important is because Season 2 leaves off in a very, very unusual way. You don't see something like this done very often, and we need to talk about that once we get there. But we're going to read this article after we're done doing a review because I wanted to know, like, after that ending, where are we going? Is there going to be a Season 3? You know, like, what direction are they taking the show after Season 3? If you guys have already seen the show, you know how it ends. You know how Season 2 ends. And you might be curious, like, which direction does the show go from here? So we're going to talk about that, and Genndy Tartakovsky had an interview here, and we're going to go over what he said. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this. Let me grab some water before my voice dies. And let's talk about it. So here we go. So Primal Season 2. Where does this start? It starts right where Season 1 leaves off. Mira gets kidnapped by the Vikings. Okay? Primal is a show where there's barely any talking. Like, this is, like, there's no... There's one actually, no, wait a minute. There is one episode where they actually talk English, and there's, like, an actual story, and we're going to talk about that episode. That what the hell was that episode? We're going to talk about that one. It was called Primal Theory. We're going to get there in a second. But my God, folks, my God, Primal is usually a show where there's, like, no talking, and the plot is very simplistic, realistically. So literally, Mira gets kidnapped at the end of Season 1, and we start off Season 2 where Fang and Spear, they decide, okay, well, mostly Fang, obviously, right? Or no, wait, which one is which? Hold on. Wait. Primal, Spear is the protagonist. Okay. Spear is sorry, I got confused. Spear is the caveman and Fang is the dinosaur. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. So there we go. They don't say their names in the show, so, like, you know, you really have to keep track of it outside of the, you know, the show. Okay, so we have this down here. So Spear is the caveman, and he decides we are going right after Mira. We're going to save her from those damn-ass Vikings, and we're just going to charge across the ocean. And they do. They they build a boat. It's kind of this weird raft. And they spend, like, like an episode or 2 episodes just, like, sailing across the sea to get to the Vikings. There was a lot of cool imagery, like jellyfishes, and we saw, like, it was cool. They did really good water effects. You don't really see a lot of shows where they focus on the ocean. We don't get to see something like this very often, where there's tidal waves and there's sharks and just this huge oceanic combat going on here, where, you know, you have a giant dinosaur on a raft. I have no clue how that raft didn't sink with a dinosaur that large on it, but you have to suspend your disbelief sometimes. So, yeah. So I guess Fang is the dinosaur. Yeah, Fang did not sink the boat, and they made it there safely. But there was a problem, right? There was a bit of a problem there. They had a bit of a hiccup. Their raft, there was a giant tsunami, and they had to deal with a giant king shark. It was like a prehistoric, like, giant shark. They had to dodge it, and eventually, you know, the tidal wave, it comes crashing down. They get lost. They probably should have drowned, honestly. But through some miracle, they literally survive. They wash up on a beach. It's a cliche, the old cliche. Oh, some traumatic thing happened in the ocean, or there's a storm, and then they wash up on the beach. It's the old cliche. So they wash up on the beach, but they wash up on the beach at different times, which is very interesting. So the dinosaur, which is Fang, Fang, she's looking for where's the caveman? Where's Spear? Where's Spear? She's running around. She doesn't see him, and she ends up going off, thinking that he died in the wall, like he just died in the ocean. That's it. But he actually survived. He is a survivor. Well, for now, he's a survivor. We're gonna get to that. He's a survivor for now, but he ends up living. Okay, which was really convenient, and yeah, it was very no. Actually, we need to jump back to the dinosaur. This is the big role of the dinosaur. She ends up exploring now that she thinks that the caveman Spear is dead. She ends up exploring, and she finds a red dinosaur just like her, which is pretty convenient that there would be. How the hell did a red dinosaur get all the way over there? I don't know. How did it cross the ocean? No clue. But apparently there was a dinosaur that was her exact breed, just a different color, that was male. How convenient. The exact opposite gender, the exact breed, just ever so happen to be on the island. So she wakes up, once she's recovers from the ocean damage, she wakes up on the shore. She goes and finds that dinosaur. They have a romantic kind of, intimacy there. And she gets pregnant, right? The male dinosaur impregnates her. We find that out a couple episodes later. And there is a lot of time skips in this show. Like, what the hell? There's a time skip later where, one of the characters has a baby, like Tiger. And then the tiger, or was it a cheetah? It might have been a cheetah. She gets a baby cheetah, and then it grows up, like, by the next episode. And you're like, oh my God, how much time has passed? Right, we don't exactly know how much time is passing between each episode, but like there are time skips like frequently. It's pretty whack. You have to keep if you aren't paying attention, those time skips they happen. So yeah, she mates with the dinosaur. It was vague enough where you could be like, okay, yeah, she mated with the dinosaur. They sleep together. You don't see any action there. You don't. You don't get any dino on dino action, if you know what I'm saying. But, it's implied that they slept together, the dinosaurs, and she did get impregnated. And then Spear wakes up on the beach later on, and they end up in, Ireland somehow. What the fuck? I don't even know. They were in, Scotland or Ireland or some shit. And it was pretty interesting to me because, he found people, but I guess he really wanted to find Mira, you know what I mean? Mira was kind of like the first person he had seen in a while. So he wanted to, it's really weird because, he found an entire village of humans, but I guess he just loved Mira. I guess that's at the end of the day, because after seeing the first season, it kind of made it seem like he wanted to find, fellow humans. A female. He wanted to find a female to replace his dead wife and kid. And I guess he saw that in Mira. But here, we go to Scotland. There's an entire village. They survived, too. They're not dead at all. The Scotlands are I don't even know. Are they Scotland? Are they Norwegian? Are they, Irish? I don't know who the hell they are. But they survive. And they were an entire tribe there that, Spear could have just settled down and just retired right there with one of the women, no doubt. So that was really interesting that, there was a big calamity, the red dinosaur that the green, Fang mated with. There's a bit of a conflict there because she didn't know he was dead. He was still alive. And, essentially the caveman sees the red dinosaur thinking it's a threat. And so they have a big scuffle. It's a big love triangle, but it results in death. Essentially, weirdly enough, Fang, the dinosaur, ends up leading to her own red dinosaur's death, which is really cool. I like that the dinosaur actually killed her own mate by accident instead of, one of the other characters killing him. So that was really cool. I did like that. I did not see that twist coming right off the top of my head, I thought something was going to happen where he was going to die, but I didn't think it would happen that quickly, I didn't think the green one was going to be the one to kill him either, but holy shit. Okay. So yeah, a lot of stuff happens. A lot of people die in this one. And there's a big battle, and they basically destroy miniature ancient Ireland. Gets decimated here. Or maybe it was Norway, or Vikings, or I don't know what. It looked like Ireland. I would say like Ireland or something like that. But yeah, it was definitely Europe. They were definitely in a European country for sure. But anyways, so that happens, so she's pregnant now. We don't find that out later until like a couple episodes more. Fang is just, he's there. He gets very beaten up, he takes a lot of damage. Also, they take so much damage, and then the next episode, it's like most of the time the cuts are gone, the scars are gone. I understand it's a show. You have to suspend your disbelief. Also, the animators don't want to draw like a million scuff marks, You got to keep the budget, nice and reliable. You can't be spending the entire budget on cut marks. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting scene there with the whole Ireland shindig, but they continue on their journey. So they decide to flee the Ireland scene there, and they do eventually find the Vikings that took Mira in the next episode. And we basically get like the greatest episode of the whole show here. Episode 4. Episode 4 was called Red Mist, I believe. Primal Red Mist. This is, if you guys don't want to watch this show, okay, just watch this episode, The Red Mist. Holy shit. This is a 10 out of 10. This episode was the shit of legend. This was a non-stop 20-something minute, like 22 minutes long of action. It was all action, no breaks, no freaking breaks. It was crazy, my God. So yeah, anyway, they're giant Viking battle here. In the end, they, I mean, they're too broken. Spear and Fang, they're literally just broken. They end up killing like basically the entire village by themselves. It is a massacre. It is crazy what goes on here. Absolutely. Giant death battle, literally, but some of the Vikings were out fishing, right? Some of the Vikings were out collecting slaves. Okay, that's what happens. The chieftain, the big chief of the village, he was out collecting slaves, and my God, Spear and Fang massacred the entire village. They even kill a child by accident, right? They didn't want to kill a child, but they do kill a child. And that was Spear. Spear kills the child by accident. He hits his head on the rock and dies. He also kills the chieftain's wife. Or was that Fang? One of the two killed, or maybe it might have been Fang that killed the wife. So basically the entire village, they are so broken. Okay, two characters, a caveman and his dinosaur, literally so broken, they wipe out an entire Viking village except for one boat that had the chieftain while they were going to collect slaves. And they do free Mira. Mira was in the Viking. And that's one thing I will bring up. What the fuck? Mira and the slaves were completely unguarded and could have left at any time. It was like literally, what the fuck? That was something. They needed to have guards there. If I could whisper something into Genndy Tartakovsky's ear before this launched, I'd be like, hey man, maybe you should put some guards, where they're keeping the slaves, because they're literally just in a barn. They're in a fucking barn. They just, literally the caveman Spear walks right up to the barn, just goes right in there. It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, I wanted to see more security for the slaves. I mean, it seems like the Vikings go through an awful lot to recruit them and or to go capture them. You'd expect them to have better, management and security, but no, they sure don't. And that's that. So yeah, he breaks Mira out, slaughters the entire village, but then something crazy happens, right? We see, oh no, that doesn't happen till later, right? Yeah. So the Viking is following, and his son, his oldest son, they're the only two Viking survivors from the village. They're the only two left. They follow Mira, Spear, and Fang. They chase them down as they go on their adventures. Mira wants to go back to her home, right? She eventually takes them back to her valley in like Africa or something. And so they go on their way. They run away. And then we go into the weird episode. Okay. We just have the most exciting episode we've ever seen. How do you follow that up? How do you follow? Do you think you give us another hype episode? No. We jump into 1890, literally in Britain, okay, for no reason. The episode is called Primal Theory. There's a gentleman in England. He speaks English. This is the only time we ever get to see characters like speaking fluent English. Okay, the characters are speaking fluent English. They're a bunch of scholars. They're gentlemanly scholars. And they basically say, one of the guys is like, I have this theory that we're thinking about evolution wrong. If somebody is pushed to a certain circumstance, they will revert into their primal being. They will revert into a caveman, a savage, and all the other people call him crazy. Then they find out word from the police officer nearby, that a savage now it's really sad. We don't get a backstory on this guy. We don't really get a backstory. There's just this deranged killer. It's like a madman killer that he kind of, maybe he's a descendant of Spear. I don't know. He's just an absolute wild loose cannon killing caveman. Even though they're in modern day England for some reason. This guy is just some kind of primal killing machine, So he's there, and he escapes the insane asylum, and he starts killing all of the British scholars, except for the main two, right? The main guy who proposed the theory that people revert to being savages, and the elderly guy who he's like, ha ha ha, what a joke, you're a joke, you stupid guy, he's making a mockery of him, and they're the only two survivors of the bloody attack. In the end, the entire thing is just a joke. It's like, haha, I told you. He basically, the elderly man, even though he's a scholar, he's a very prim and proper scholar, he reverts to his urge, his primal, state. He goes in, he's fist fighting, he's a boxer, He's going bananas, and together they eventually defeat the crazed monkey man. How else would you describe the crazed caveman savage? Let's just call him a savage. They end up doing that, and then he's like, I told you, and that's how it ends. It's so weird. We have this jungle, we have Primal, there's dinosaurs, there's intense battles of ancient legend. And then we skip thousands of years into the future, or millions. I don't even know. Probably not millions, just thousands, right? We jump thousands of years into the future, and here's this random episode about Britain. It was very disjointed. It came out of nowhere, and was very wacky, yeah. And then from that point, we get into the wackiest territory of all, the Vikings. So we go back to the Vikings. Let me grab some water. I'm dying. Hold on. We go back to the Vikings, okay? And basically, again, Spear, Fang, and Mira end up killing the son. They kill the son of the Viking. He's the only one left. He's the only one left. He's alive still. He's still alive. And eventually they kind of they kill him too. They kill the chieftain Viking. But he doesn't die. He doesn't die like the other people. He makes a deal with Satan. Yeah, apparently Satan is just in this show. Why the hell not? They literally, I don't know what was going on. The writers were snorting some cocaine here. I don't know what the hell happened, boys. Genndy Tartakovsky must have been on something else there, man. But the devil is just there. Legit, the devil is there. And he grants the Viking, his powers. And he tells, the devil kind of points to the picture of Spear and Fang. And he's like, you have to kill them. It is your duty to kill them. And so he becomes a giant fire demon. He goes back to Earth. He's a giant fire demon. And he starts walking in the direction of Spear and Fang. And Mira too. And so we eventually skip a couple episodes here. Okay, let's not. So then we go to the Colossus 3-parter. This is a 3. I think they wasted a lot of time here. I didn't think this needed to be a 3-parter. There's an Egyptian woman. The Egyptian woman captures them and forces them to be slave fighters. The Egyptian queen or whatever she is, she sails around and forces her men to kill and attack anybody, literally anybody they find. They just kill and attack them and loot all their shit. Okay, in a giant Egyptian warship. It was pretty cool. I like the design of that warship. But yeah, it was just crazy. So what we find out is there's this giant black guy. They call him the Colossus. And he's the strongest fighter in the whole Egyptian army. But they're forcing him. They are absolutely forcing him to work for them. They have his daughter, right? And they're if he steps out of line, they'll just kill his daughter. And we do find out that he was from an African tribe, and they got all enslaved by the Egyptians. And essentially what we see it's a 3-parter, it goes on for a while, but essentially what we see is the slaves all get freed, okay? Even the Colossus himself, he gets freed, his daughter, they all get out of there, and Spear, Fang, and they give, I almost forgot to mention that, while they're on the boat, the dinosaur Fang gives birth to 3 eggs. One of the eggs gets destroyed. This happens before they go on the boat. As they kill right after they killed the Viking, it happens. So the dinosaur gives birth to 3 eggs. One of the eggs eventually gets destroyed in a scuffle, and so there's 2 eggs left, and essentially, the whole plot of the Egyptian thing is they need to get the eggs back, and they need to free the Colossus's daughter. They end up doing it. They have a big fight. A lot of people die, as you would expect, and then we're in the end game. So they get off the Egyptian ship. They sail back to Mira. Mira's from some African tribe also. So they go back to her African tribe. And this is where the show ends. So basically, the Viking, he's a giant fire demon. He walks on water. How does he do that? I don't know. The devil must have given him some Jesus Christ powers there. But he just walks on water casually. And he's magic. He's a magical fire demon. And the final episode is pretty wacky. So the main character dies. That's it. I think Genndy Tartakovsky, really great guy. Really, he knows how to make shows. He really knows how to do art. Samurai Jack and Primal. You look at any scene, any image, it's a very beautiful piece of artwork. It's a very unusual and interesting piece, right? He's really good at making an art style, really good at telling stories, not good at ending them, okay? So yeah, the fire demon has the power to transform into a giant snake, and essentially what happens is Spear sacrifices his life. He sacrifices his life to save Mira, the whole village. Fang actually gets to live and raise her baby dinosaurs, so that's cool. But yeah, Fang basically gets burned alive, but he survives. He does survive for a little while. And basically the fire demon gets dragged back down to hell. The Viking, he turns back into the Viking who gets dragged down by Satan. And that's the story. That's the whole... it was pretty wacky. I just ran through the whole story off memory. But the ending is where it gets wild. Fang actually died. Well, we don't see him die, actually. Hold on a second here. It is implied that he died, but it isn't confirmed. It looks like he died, but he could have also survived. We're not sure. We just get a time jump. We get a time skip into the future. But what happens? This is the wackiest shit. So he gets burned alive, and because all he wanted was a family, he did some cave paintings on a wall, and Mira sees them, and Mira's like, oh, it's so sad. He's going to die. He's going to die and have nobody. He's not going to have anything in this world when he dies. because he's burned so badly that, like, I guess they couldn't save him. And she jumps on his dick. This is not this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Holy fuck. She jumps on that cock and she starts riding. This is real. This is like, I was shocked. I was like, what? Yeah, I mean, hey, it's an adult cartoon. Why not? Jumps on that primal savage dick and she starts riding, and let's just say he gets a happy ending. Literally. Spear gets a happy ending, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So he blows his load, and he confirmed gets the girl pregnant. Mira gets pregnant, and we get a time skip. The last thing we see is the future. Mira is still alive. She gave birth to a daughter. We don't know the daughter's name unless Genndy said it somewhere. I don't know. But Spear has a daughter now in the future. He has passed away, assumedly. Maybe he survived. I don't know. He probably died. And the village is alive. The village is well. As for Fang is much larger. It seems like she's gotten larger even. And she's older, and she has her baby kids, her little baby dinosaur kids. They've grown up. Yeah. So nice little happy ending there. As for season 3, where do we go? Do we continue off with Spear's daughter? Is that where the season goes next? I don't know. Or do we go back to the England thing? Do we, like, because that felt like a backdoor pilot. You know what a backdoor pilot is? It's when they try and they know the show is coming to an end, so they try and make an opportunity for maybe a spin-off for another show. So that's what episode, what was the episode called? The Primal Theory. Primal Theory literally felt like a backdoor pilot to a different show. So they could do that for season 3. But we're going to look here. So this is the only thing that we have to go off right now. Okay. Primal creator talks shocking finale and how season 3 could transform the show. Genndy Tartakovsky has surprising plans for Dinosaur Fantasy future, assuming that he gets another season. This is Adult Swim. This is HBO Max relevant, Time Warner. Do they have enough in the budget for a Primal season 3? I don't know, but we're gonna read here. This article contains spoilers. Yeah, no shit. After a nearly 2-year hiatus, Primal returned this summer with an astounding second season. Yeah, it was pretty good, except for that season, the episode 5. Episode 4 was literally so good, and then they interrupt it with episode 5. I'm going to give this season... By the way, I didn't rate this season. I'm going to give this season an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. I thought the ending where they killed Spear was a little bit... the dick riding was fucking hilarious. I almost choked. I did not see that coming anywhere. Like, I was never in a million years would I have guessed that would have been the ending of fucking Spear's life. He's burned alive, and while he's dying, just fucking cock ride, baby. Oh my god. So yeah, we're gonna go here. Previously, wandering Spear and his trusty Tyrannosaurus friend Fang pinballed between creature feature assaults, barely surviving. There was a small matter of the biggest warship ever, ruled by the villainous queen, and also maybe the devil. Yeah, why did the devil? I didn't like that. Like, he had no chance against that fire demon. That was so stupid. I don't know. That was a convoluted way to kill him. Literally, the devil is just like, yeah, I want him dead. So he just dies. That's it. I didn't like that. Even viewers used to Primal's twists were probably shocked by this week's finale, which doesn't merely end the season, but also definitively ends Spear's story. Yeah, so... No, hold on a second here. They never showed him actually dead. It is implied, it is strongly implied that he died. We never see a gravestone. We never see a body. I don't want to say he's dead, but he probably is dead, yeah. So that ends the story. Echoes of Eternity begins with a rare triumph. Mira successfully returns to the village, yada yada. I don't need to rerun it here. Let's go. Here's the good stuff. Entertainment Weekly. Talk about the decision to kill off your main character. What needed to happen in the finale for this battle to feel truly climactic, given all the monstrous things Spear has survived before? Genndy says, after Samurai Jack and the way we ended the last season, I got a lot of flack for not giving Jack a happy ending. In my mind, I didn't like this. I have a big gripe on Samurai Jack. I didn't like the ending there either. In my mind, he's a samurai. That's not his life. That's not his lot in life. We can't just all be happy for this. Going into it, I had an idea of where I wanted to go. The whole scope of the series about Spear's evolution. He's kind of like the last caveman, the last Neanderthal. So his evolution, in a way, is continuing his family. So yeah, he gets the sex at the end, you know. Literally, his last moments were probably dying while getting his cock ridden. He's facing the villain that's supernatural powered. It's not just a creature. It's something that's beyond man. I felt like if they beat him, it's not right. Why would you make such an unbeatable enemy, though? I don't understand. So why not go out in a blaze of glory? He's doing... Yeah, but like it would have been cooler if the Viking, without the power of the devil, literally just killed him. Like, that would have been a satisfying ending. Spear and the Viking kill each other at the end. That would have been cooler, maybe? I don't know. It's not right, so why not go out in a blaze of glory? He's doing everything to protect his family, like usual, but it's too much. You want to be realistic, even though this is the most unrealistic show ever made. You definitely have to you definitely have to ignore a lot of stuff, especially the wounds. Characters get injured all the time. Suspend your disbelief. Those wounds didn't happen, baby. Even though this is the most unrealistic show ever made, you want it to be believable character-wise. To continue on with his daughter felt like the right thing. Yeah, but it's like believable. Like what? Believable character? We're just here to believe that the devil is real? And what about the moon god? They frequently they kept worshipping the moon god. As soon as I saw the devil, I thought to myself, "Oh, Mira worships the moon god, and even Fang or Spear starts worshiping the moon god, doing the prayers." And the moon god never comes to save them, you know? Like, what the fuck? They basically introduced this idea of, like, praying to the moon god. No payoff there. So, yeah, it felt like a loose end that they didn't really touch on there. But, the ending happened. Was this a better ending than Samurai? I think it was. I think the cock ride. Who would have guessed? That has to be the funniest fucking ending for a show. If this show ends right here at season 2, this is going to go down as one of the funniest fucking endings I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God. You want it to be believable, characterized, Spear's daughter felt like the right thing to do. So this show specifically about Spear's daughter going forward. Okay, this is the juicy stuff. If there's a season 3, basically, are we going in with a Spear's daughter plot line, or do you see Primal as becoming more about Spear's family? I see it ending. Laughs. I don't want to do this story further. Oh shit. I feel like this season we've done it all, in a way. I want to almost become an anthology show where season 3 would still be called Primal, but with a different subheading. That's cool. I like that idea. Low dialogue, high emotion, survival, rawness, visual storytelling, all that stuff, but with different characters. So he wants to do Primal. He wants to do the Infinity Train thing, right? He wants to do Infinity Train where it's like, maybe there's a couple characters that carry over every like season, but we get all new characters. Like every season is a new batch of characters. He wants to do that thing. The anthology type of thing. Survival, rawness, visual storytelling, all that stuff, but with different characters. There's more things I want to do with Primal, not necessarily Spear and Fang. Maybe if there's a giant outcry, we will continue the story with his daughter and Mira and the dinosaurs. I'd have to really think about it. I kind of don't want to see his daughter. Like, I don't care for it. I would rather see, you know what? If you want to continue the story, go with a different village, maybe go with a different village. Or here's an idea. The Vikings, right? Maybe there was a Viking or two that survived. Maybe we could see a new sort of era where like the Vikings have to rebuild their settlement. Maybe we could see that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see like Spear's daughter. I'm not sure. Yeah, and Genndy is a little bit unsure also. He says here, I'd have to really think about it. I was really moved to see Spear paint his entire life story on the wall. At what point did you decide this could be part of his final act? This was going to be the biggest challenge. Can we make the audience feel that he got this existential thinking about his life? He knows he doesn't fit in, and then he starts to ponder. Well, what is my place? He feels like the outsider. It still goes back to the very first episode where he loses family and erases himself from the wall. Yeah. At the end, he draws himself away from all the other characters, like on the wall. He draws all the characters, like even Mira, and then he draws himself in the corner. That's very sad. There was an episode this season, The Primal Theory. Here we go. Which introduced an entirely new time and setting. Yeah, what the fuck? I'm curious, as viewers, should we interpret that 1890s England adventure as a complete breakaway, or is it meant to connect to the Spear Fang story? It's for sure connected. What? They're discussing the savagery inside of yourself. Oh, okay, it's like that. We came off the most savage episode that we've ever done with the brutality of Spear and Fang. That was episode 4, right? Episode 4 was the best, and then we get this stupid-ass episode. They were pushed to kill all these innocent people. It was a little bit of a reset. I love the feeling of giving the show a little verbal context slightly in this horrific episode. Yeah, some viewers think Primal Theory proves the rest of the show is actually set in the far future. Can you comment on that? Absolutely not in the future. Okay, so people thought that 1890 was like, that was the present or in the past. And the Primal was actually not in the past. It's like that old, there's a theory that like not Futurama, the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. People had a theory that like, they didn't go back in time, they just went down below. Or there was like different like time ideas with the whole like Simpsons meet, not the Simpsons, Flintstones meet the Jetsons, right? There was all kinds of theories. They had a kind of weird theory here. Genndy comes out and says, no, it was in the future. Absolutely not in the future. So yeah, the show Fang and everything, that was all in the past, and 1890 England is in the future. I won't even bother you with my theory that the guy Aaron LaPlante voices in Primal Theory is Spear's great-great-great-grandson. Could be, but probably not. Aaron is really funny, and I wanted to give him something because I love his voice. He's done some voices for me for Unicorn, Warriors Eternal. I can't wait for that. He's doing a voice for me in Fixed, which is, I reported on this. He has an upcoming movie about a dog. It's his like last day having testicles. Very interesting. Genndy is a very interesting man. Absolutely. I'm trying to use him as much as I can besides just grunting. He's actually a really good actor. Yeah. We saw the chieftain get taken down to a hellish place. Where some kind of entity remade him as a fiery monster. I'm curious, do you have a name for who that entity is, or what is that place? The name of the episode before was Vidar, which is actually the old Nordic name for revenge. People kind of associated that with the demon guy, whether it's the devil or Satan. I thought it was, devil or Satan. It's the demigod of hell. Okay. Probably just Satan. I like the audience when it's, I like when the audience make their own. Some people were saying that it's the god of revenge, and that works too. It's definitive in the story, but you can classify it in the way that you want to. The show, I've always said, it's pulp. There's man and there's dinosaurs, so they're not historically accurate. Yeah, we had like every race here. There was like Indian elephants, there was like Scotsmen, there was like we had every race under the sun in this show. So it wasn't historically accurate, but it was pretty cool though. Then we've got witches. Yeah, in the first season there was like witches and magic and vampires and man-bats, and getting dragged into the underworld to empower yourself for revenge is all part of it. Something about Conan the Barbarian. What's next for you? Is there a release date for Unicorn Warriors Eternal? We're looking at maybe sometime next year. Maybe at the end of this year. And then I'm working full on Fixed, that rated R feature for New Line. And then starting development for Season 3. For Season 3? And I have an idea that I'm really excited about. One that's raising to the top. After doing 5 seasons of Samurai Jack, 2 seasons of Primal, and all the Clone Wars that we did, I've done so much battles and action. If I was going to do it all again, what would I do? How can I make things interesting to me and the audience so it's not just a repeat of what I've done? That's why I'm so excited about Primal. I haven't done a caveman-style fighting. He's got no skills, just rawness. To choreograph fights like that was really fun. Pushing it into a Season 3 of Primal, if it gets there, what's different? What can I do that I haven't done? And then if you're tired of battles, you could also spend more time on Dinosaur Maternity Ward. Yeah, storyboarding the birth of the eggs was some of the most fun I had. I know some people were shocked by it. I don't know if we need to see that. You do need to see that. That's what makes it new. When you can actually find something that really hasn't been done, especially in animation, that's when storytelling gets excited. So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff here. So Primal Season 3, will it happen? There's a good chance, but I don't think we're going to be if it does happen, I don't think we're following Mira and Spear's daughter. I think we're going to get new characters like Infinity Train, and maybe the daughter appears in like one of the episodes or something as a joke, or as a cameo, not a joke. So that's going to be it. I give it an 8 out of 10. Very, very interesting stuff here. Very wacky. It's just, it was something else, man. It was something else. The sex scene at the end, the dinosaur. It was kind of sad when the baby dinosaur egg died, but at least the other 2 made it. It was pretty cool. I was really excited when the queen, the Egyptian queen, she was such a vile character. When she eventually dies, you feel really good about it. So yeah, screw that queen. And overall, loved it. Loved the show. Loved the first season. I think I gave the first season 8 out of 10 also. And I gave this season 8 out of 10. So which one did I like more? I think I liked this season a little bit more because it was just wacky. It was episode 4. Episode 4 made the season better than the first season. Episode 4, which was called The Red Mist. You have to go see that episode. It's too good. And that's going to be that. I'm going to end it here. 42 minutes. Oh, shit. Okay, I went on a tangent. Wow. Okay, so we're going to end it here. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And why not watch an ad for your boy Sandro? I want to hear all those comments down below. That's it. Peace out. Bye-bye.